Hey guys, hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to be doing a first impressions review on the Bourjois Healthy Mix foundation. This foundation isn't new, but they did recently reformulate it and repackage it. I have tried the old formula, but I haven't tried the new formula, so I thought I would try out the new formula on camera and do like a wear test. So on the back of the foundation, the description says, it is an anti-fatigue and radiance reveal foundation. With its vitamin mix, it instantly erases signs of fatigue for a flawless, fresh and healthy looking complexion. 70% more radiance, 24-hour hydration, non-comedogenic, dermatologically tested, and you get 30 ml, so it's like a standard foundation size. Front is kind of all in French, but it does have 16H, which I'm guessing means 16 hours wear, and I do have a pretty bad skin at the moment. This is very unusual for me. I'm not really sure why my skin is this bad, but we will see if it covers it, I guess. And I am wearing clothes. I know I look naked, but I'm wearing like a off the shoulder top. I'm not going to prime or anything because I normally don't prime on a regular day, and sorry that I look a bit weird, but it is really early in the morning and I only just got out of bed, so this is like straight out of bed look pretty much. Just applied some onto the back of my hand and it's thick. It's not, I mean it's going down my hand, but it's not running super fast. I'm going to put a little bit of lightener in. This is the NYX Pro Foundation Mixer in the shade of white. I'm just going to put a little bit of that in, so like that's how much I put, just to lighten it up a little bit because I am very fair. Sorry if the lighting changes a little bit. Like I said, this is like a new camera. I'm still getting the hang of it, and there's like clouds, so the sun's going in and out of the clouds, and it's kind of all over the place this morning, but I can't really control the weather. I know I look crazy right now. I do have a little bit of sunburn on my forehead at the moment, so that's why that looks a bit weird and patchy. And I'm going to blend that out with a sponge because that's what I use for every single foundation. So it's blending out nicely. I mean, it's definitely not the right shade match for me, but that's okay. I can fix that. Now, from what I remember for the previous formula, I really liked this foundation, but the issue that I had was that it transferred heaps. I remember when I first met my boyfriend, this was like 3 years ago, when I first met him, this is like one of my go-to foundations, and I hugged him and he had a white shirt on, and after I hugged him, there was foundation all over his shirt. So the foundation on me transferred really badly, so that's why I stopped using it. So I just want to see if this new formula doesn't transfer as bad, pretty much. But so far it's blending in really nicely. I would say it's probably a medium coverage because I can still see like all my freckles and everything coming through. Generally when it comes to foundations, I prefer a medium coverage. I'm not like a full coverage kind of person. I do have like some dry skin and flakiness down here from my breakouts, so it'd be interesting to see if that gets cakey or if the foundation grips to it at all. I'm just going to put on a little bit more and see if it builds well. So I'm just going to put some on my cheeks because that is generally where I like to have the most coverage. A bit on my chin and maybe a bit more on my nose. And let's blend this in. So it seems to be building pretty nicely. I can still see a tiny bit of redness through there, and I have a dog hair on my face. I can still see a little bit of redness peeking through, but to be honest, that doesn't really bother me that much. I'm blending on my cheeks. So far I really like how it's looking. It's looking really nice and radiant and dewy pretty much. I can still see, you know, some of my redness and all my freckles and stuff coming through, but that's fine for me. I don't really mind that. I do tend to use a really high coverage concealer, so generally this area here I get more coverage from my concealer. Same on my nose. I add a little bit to my chin normally and my forehead, so that's how I add extra coverage pretty much. I feel like it looks very natural. I can still see my skin coming through. It kind of doesn't really look like I'm wearing foundation. I mean I am obviously, but it's not as obvious as other foundations I've tried in the past. So I feel like it's looking a little bit cakey down here where it's a bit dry, but the rest of my face looks really nice. So I'm going to do my concealer and my eyebrows and powder the foundation, and then I will show you what it looks like after it's all been powdered and all of that stuff. Alright, so I've just done the rest of my makeup. I ended up doing like all blush and bronzer and highlight as well. I haven't done my eyes because I'm doing a eyeshadow palette review today. So far I like how it's looking. It's looking very natural. When I set my nose with powder, I use a sponge because I have a really big issue with foundation just sliding off my nose pretty much. It did come off a little bit, which it doesn't normally come off that easily with other foundations. Tiny bit cakey on my chin. I'll see if I can move a bit forward so you guys can see. So here is it a little bit closer. I do have fine lines on my forehead and smile lines, so it'll be interesting to see if it creases in those because most of my foundations do. So far I am liking it and I'm interested to see if it wears differently to the old formula. Time is 7:45 in the morning. I do have a few things to do today. I'm going out for lunch and other few things, so I will check in a few hours before I go to lunch, and then I'll probably check in afterwards. So I will see you guys in a few hours and let you know how it is going. I'm just about to go out to lunch, so I thought I would do a check-in before I leave. It is currently, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it is 10 to 11 in the morning, so I've had this foundation on for 3 hours now. So I honestly think I like it more now than I did when I first applied it. I feel like my skin looks really nice and smooth. It does look a little bit cakey across my chin. It has cracked a tiny bit on my chin and it's clinging a bit to the dry skin. Forehead, it looks fine. It doesn't really look, like it looks glowy but it doesn't look shiny. It's settled slightly in my smile lines, but to be honest, like most of my foundations are way worse than this, so this is pretty good. It doesn't look like it's rubbed off anywhere, which like I mentioned, the old formula used to just like wipe off my face straight away. So this looks pretty good so far. I'm pretty happy with it. It looks a tiny bit cakey around like the sides of my nose, but I have a really big issue with foundations like even staying in that area. That is what my foundation is looking like right now. So it looks pretty nice and smooth on my cheeks. I really like it. You can kind of see where it's rubbed off a little bit just here on my nose. Like I said, when I powdered, like you can see my freckles peeking through. Normally I don't have that, but that's alright. So it looks like on my forehead, my other cheek. See, it has creased a tiny bit in my smile lines, but like I said, it's way worse than other foundations, and that's what it looks like on my chin. In my opinion, it looks the worst on my chin. Normally, I don't have a dry chin or any texture. So like I said, I'm going out to lunch right now and I will check in a couple of hours when I get back. So I'm back to give you my final thoughts on the foundation. It is currently, I don't know if you can see that, it's 3:30 in the afternoon, so it's been on for about 7 hours now. And I'm done with my day, I'm in my comfy clothes, and I'm ready to wash this makeup off. So straight away, the first thing I noticed is that it has definitely increased more in my smile lines. Like for sure it's pretty badly creased, but like I said before, that happens with pretty much all foundations that I use. Chin looks really cakey and it's cracked, like all over my chin is cracked. I can't really notice anywhere that it's rubbed off or anything like that. My nose looks alright, but in the corners is really cakey and it's starting to break down just like on the sides of my nose. Overall, I think it is done really well. I'm pretty impressed with it. I'm just going to touch my face and see if any of the foundation actually transfers. Touch like my chin. It's actually not that much. So there's a tiny bit of foundation on my hands, but not much at all. Overall, I definitely give this foundation a thumbs up. I do really like the formula and it's really inexpensive and I would definitely wear this again. I'm just going to show you a close-up of my face. So this is what the foundation looks like up close. That is my forehead, my cheeks. I don't know if you can see the sides of my nose. Sorry, I'm looking at the viewfinder. I don't know if you can see the sides of my nose where it's kind of like broken down a little bit. My chin is the worst, especially in this area, and like right here it's like really cracked. So maybe this wouldn't be good if you had really dry or textured skin, because pretty much that's the only texture I have going on at the moment, and it doesn't look the greatest there. And then that is that side of my face. I think overall it's done pretty well. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If there's any other foundations that you would like to see me review and do like a wear test on, leave it down in the comments below, because I would actually really like to do more of these videos. I haven't done that many, but this one was really great to film. Sorry the sun's going in and out of the clouds right now like crazy, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.